We really wanted to do a fair and even comparison. That's why we've come to Studios 301, one of the top recording venues in Australia. We've got one of their best engineers on site today, and he's going to mic both pianos up. We're going to mic the digital piano in the same way as you would an acoustic piano.
This is great. It's the sort of piano you hope is on the gig when you get there. Any gig's not in a concert hall where you know you're going to get a full-size piano. It's always a great delight to get one of these. It's responsive, it's got a great sound, the action feels really responsive, and basically I know this instrument. I can make music with it and it responds to everything I do, and has a great dynamic range too, much more than an upright piano. So yeah, this is what you hope to get on the gig. So this immediately feels like a bigger piano, and when I say feels, just my impression of the sound. It sounds like a longer piano. It's a big, rich sound. The action is fantastic, and the response, the feeling I get from the whole thing is really wonderful. I feel like I'm getting just a bit more back, a noticeable amount, not huge, but noticeable amount back more from the piano. I don't mean the volume, you can just turn that up. I mean just the response. It feels like it's giving me more back for what I'm putting in, which is a really nice feeling. I said the other piano was the one you hope's on the gig. That's unless they've got one of these, because I really love that response like that. This is I've heard the term used, you know, that a really good digital piano could be a viable option. You know, if an acoustic piano is not available. I don't know that that's a way we can continue to talk. The technology has gotten to the stage now where that's like saying, you know, one of the great acoustic brands is a viable option if you can't get the other one. People say, well, no, I prefer the other one. It's taste. I think we're at that stage now, because this instrument, regardless of whether it's digital or acoustic, is an amazing instrument to play. And in this room at this time, I prefer it to the other one. But I'm not going to run around saying, oh, I like digital pianos better than acoustic ones. It depends on the piano. These instruments, this is the one, and that one's a viable option if they don't have one of these. It's when you play gently and big chords across the keyboard that you really hear what an acoustic piano can do. It's a beautiful sound. You've got all the harmonic resonance going on, you've got the wood vibrating, and you can just feel every note. And it's gorgeous. It's one of the things I love about playing the piano. Here too, the harmonic resonance is all there, the feeling of wood vibrating is there, there's wood in there, But it's that beautiful feeling when you play of making that gorgeous sound with your touch. You can't really get that. For years playing digital pianos, you were playing samples, and whilst they could make as many samples as they could at different volumes and different touches and everything, somewhere down there, drilled right down, there's got to be a step from one sample to the other. You can't have the bit in between. That's gone. This instrument doesn't play samples. It's actually creating the sound, which is blowing my mind. I'm going to say it again. Every piano that plays a sample, when you play this instrument, you're hearing another instrument. It's a recording of another instrument, and you're triggering it from this one. Okay, it's inside there, but that's what you're hearing. This instrument is actually creating that sound on board. Yes, it's modelled on other instruments, but I mean, hopefully every great piano made today is modelled on ones that came before it. But this is actually creating the sound now in this instrument. Amazing. One of the amazing things about the piano, of course, is harmonic resonance, that you're hearing more than just the note you're playing. And a great way to hear that, if I hold down this chord here but without actually hitting it hard enough to get the hammers to play, and then you hear what's happening because I've got the dampers off these strings. There's a whole lot of resonance. And listen to this. That's great. Every acoustic piano does that. Better pianos do it with a richer sound. They respond more. It's still there. Now, we're not aware of that or thinking about that while we're playing. But boy, if you take away harmonic resonance, it changes everything. Suddenly the whole thing sounds flat and two-dimensional. So one of the amazing things about a modern digital piano is the harmonic resonance is there. Is it ever? Now, I don't know if you can hear that. I can hear it here sitting right at the piano. That's a little bit richer than the other piano. That's because this is a bigger piano, not physically, but it's modelling a bigger piano. That's the sort of response I would expect in harmonic resonance from a 9-foot piano. Nice. It has fewer things I have to take account of than an acoustic piano normally does. Like, this is a great piano over there, but I've already learnt playing it a bit. Watch out for here, it's a little, and the action's a little stiffer here, and it's not so good below here, it's not as rich, and little things, you know, that's the same as any acoustic piano. I just don't have to allow for much here. I expect the whole piano to respond equally well in the way that it should. It's going to be heavier down here and lighter up here, but all the things, it's so right that it kind of making me feel very free. Like I say, okay, the instrument's out of the picture, I can just play. Of course, digital pianos have some advantages over their acoustic counterparts. You plug headphones in and play them in the middle of the night. They're lighter to get up the stairs or to get them around the room, which you want to do. They're always in tune, and that's a really big one. And I mean, they're really in tune. And even on cost, you know, a piano like this is maybe a little more than half the cost of an equivalent acoustic grand. But none of that really matters, does it? Because we just love to play the piano. I know I do. Speaking of which, Rudy, come on mate, jump on the other one. I'm playing this one.